I'll be in the picture. Okay, so I have been wanting to say that this is a gorgeous looking crowd tonight. I think you guys all look really, really nice and really sharp. And congratulations, you must feel so good to be here with the love of your life. I don't know, I think okay, all right. So let's get started with our event now. We'd like to give a special thank you to Sarasota County Magistrate Ed Wilson and his wife Rebecca for performing our ceremony today. And that will be happening in just a couple of minutes, so please do give a round of applause. We are so grateful that they come out to perform this ceremony and renew your vows. We also want to thank our co-sponsors, local charity Live the Life, which is the charity that I work for, and also country radio station WCTQ. Thank you to our co-sponsors this year. So my name is Sandy James, and again, I'm with a local charity called Live the Life, and we're honored to be co-sponsors of this fabulous event. We're happy to affirm all of these strong marriages and families that are represented here today. And the charity I work with, Live the Life, is here to help marriages and families in Sarasota and Manatee County to grow stronger and to last forever. For today's event, we also want to give a special thank you to Flowers by Fudgy and also to Beautiful Cakes by Ron. They did our beautiful cupcakes this year. And we've had a lot of help today from the volunteers of Bayside Community Church. So a big thank you to all of them for helping to put this together. And there's a lot of work that goes into this event, but it's so worth it to be here with you. And after the event today, we invite you to stay for cupcakes and punch. So it's a beautiful time afterwards. So we have two very special awards today that we're going to be giving out. One is to the couple that's been married the longest. These are out of the couples that registered ahead of time with Sarasota County. And we also have a prize for the couple that's the most newly married, the couple that's been married the shortest amount of time so far. So we'd like to give out our first prize. We have a bottle of champagne and a box of chocolates for the winners of the couple married the longest, and that's Jim and Anna Mae Duke. They've been married 72 years. Jim and Anna Mae, can you sort of raise your hands and wave so we can see where you are? We have your prize. Oh, right here. Come on down. Here's your prize. Wow, wow. Let's get your picture. Oh.
Before it's too late.
God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, and the second award goes to the couple that's been married the shortest amount of time so far, the most recently married couple, which is Chase and Megan Nivens. They've been married for 5 months. Are they here? Let's see where you are, Chase and Megan. Oh, there they are. Come on down.
Congratulations.
We've got a prize for you, Chase and Megan.
Went the other way.
There they are. Kelsey has a prize for you. Perfect.
They just got married, huh? This couple here just.
That's beautiful. Well, as we draw closer to the time when we're going to actually do the renewal of vows ceremony, I'd like to read for you a poem, which is called The Love Poem, and it's one of my favorites. It's all about what love really is, and it goes like this. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. Love is not rude. It is not self-seeking. And love is not easily angered. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. And love always protects. It always trusts. Love always hopes. It always perseveres. And love never fails. And now it's my honor to introduce to you Sarasota County Magistrate Ed Wilson and his lovely wife, Rebecca Wilson, to perform today's ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that kind welcome. And Sandy, thank you. I am Ed Wilson. I'm one of the magistrates from the 12th Judicial Circuit Court, and I am honored to be here. I'd also like to introduce tonight my wife, Rebecca, who's here to my left, Rebecca Wilson, and joining us tonight is our daughter, Kelsey. She wasn't able to make it last year, but she's here now, and she just wishes she had made it last year. Shortly before I began to think about what I was going to talk about this evening, before the vows, I met a gentleman who had told me that he and his wife were about to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary. I thought that was I didn't hear 72, but I heard 60, and that was very impressive to me. So I asked the natural question, what is the secret of the longevity of your marriage? And he smiled at me and he said, well, we got married, obviously, and on our 10th anniversary, I decided, since my wife's family was of Italian heritage, that I would pay for her to travel back to Italy. She'd never been there, and she could go visit the ancestral village that her whole family tree came from. And I said, well, that sounds wonderful. What a kind thing to do. What are you going to do for your 60th anniversary? And he said, I think I'll pay to fly her back.
Yeah, I heard that before.
Now, that's a gentleman who puts humor into his marriage. And I'm not here to talk about how to send your wife overseas. But what he told me got me thinking, well, what really does contribute? What are the keys to a successful, long-lasting marriage? So I wanted to do some research. And where do we go to research these days? We go on the internet and we Google things. So I just searched that, and I found lots of different things, but I just want to share a few of them with you that I found. One gentleman wrote that he had been married more than 50 years, and he said, my wife and I agreed early on that I would make all the big decisions, and she would make all the little decisions. And in all those years together, there just haven't been any big decisions. I smell a rat on that one. Then another gentleman wrote that he thought the key to a long-lasting marriage is simply to have 2 sinks in the master bathroom. Then I saw a more thoughtful response and practical by a woman. She wrote that you should marry someone you love exactly as they are and be sure they feel the same. Make sure they feel the same. That way, you will never expect more of each other than you are each happy to give. That seems very practical. Another woman wrote, the key to her marriage is that her husband wears wireless headphones when he watches football on TV. Well, then I got off the internet, and I ran into a young guy I know who's in his 20s who hadn't been married very long. And I asked him, what do you think is the key to a successful marriage? And he just blurted out, you just really need to be in love. And I said, well, how do you know you're in love? And he said, well, my wife is everything I never knew I always wanted. And I just nodded my head and said, yes, and you'll learn. And but then I decided I would consult some expert marriage counselors. And so I really did talk to some folks. And I gathered a few things like this. And some of these are really gems. The first one is that successful couples seek and offer forgiveness. Marriage is often about fighting the battle between your own ears. In other words, successful married individuals learn to resist holding grudges, and they remember that they married an imperfect person and so did their spouse. Successful couples know that love is a verb, not just a feeling. A verb means action. It takes action to have a successful marriage. Everyday life, at times, wears away the feel-good side of marriage. Feelings will fluctuate. Lasting love is based on your vows of commitment. Still, another response was that successful couples know that any deep relationship to another person requires watchfulness and nourishment. Said a different way, the grass is greenest where you water it. So don't look over the fence, water your own grass. Now, and then I thought on a personal level about my marriage to my wife, Rebecca. And to me, the key is commitment to your vows, sincere commitment to your vows. Over 28 years of marriage, we'll be to 29 in June. We've learned the meaning of for better or for worse in sickness and in health. As we've experienced triumphs and tragedies, job losses, illnesses, and loss of family within our family trees. Marriage requires a desire for the meaningful long term. And as I stand here this evening and look at my wife, I can tell you there's no one I'd rather go through life with. And that's really the truth. Rebecca, what would you say for the key to a marriage?
My first one is humor. Ed brings humor to our marriage every day, learning to laugh with each other and not at each other. I would say patience. It's very hard when you have two very different personalities, and counting to 10 is a great strategy I'm really working on. And I think the last one would probably be perseverance. I read every day and I see my job as a teacher, so many marriages failing. And I'm in it for the long haul, and I fear that in this day of disposability, that I don't want marriage to be disposable. I want it to be challenging and hard, because then I know the person behind me will be with me forever, and that's really important to me and our family.
But all this begs a question. Why do we care about what makes a successful marriage? Why do we even ask that question? Well, the reason is because marriage is not merely a private arrangement between two people. It is a core social institution that works as a primary mortar that holds our society together. And I really don't think I'm over-dramatizing that. Marriage helps ensure the social, economic, and emotional welfare of men, women, and most importantly, children. A retreat from marriage leaves men less civilized and increases anonymous fatherhood. It increases the odds that children will drop out of high school, end up in trouble with the law, or otherwise lose their way. And I'll tell you folks, we see the effects of these social fractures in the court system every single day. So, marriage is important, and you are all important because you're married. You are part of the essential stuff that holds this all together, our society. Your children, your grandchildren, and your society need you. Probably didn't know you were going to get a halftime pep talk tonight, did you? All right, before we get to the vows, listen to these words of the author Thomas Merton as he wrote about the commitment and the grace that is needed for a successful marriage. And he writes, "The beginning of love is to let those we love be perfectly themselves and not twist them to fit our own image. Otherwise, we love only the reflection of ourselves we find in them." All right, we're almost to the vows. Marriage vows are not mere words. Vows are a pledge to accept the obligations of marriage as well as the rewards, to expect a certain path, yet face the uncertainties along the way, to cherish your spouse's best traits and to bear with the worst, and to hold dear individual paths while creating new memories together. The two simple words, I do, hold an entire lifetime of meaning. Today, you before me are reaffirming your commitment to the timeless union between man and woman, husband and wife. The vows you recite this day reaffirm